Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today, as promised, we are going to do Citroen C1 brakes. To be more specific, the front brakes. We've got replacement discs and pads, and I haven't got the car jacked up yet. I've literally just finished my little bit of a test drive and I've come back to find that they're rather hot from bearing grinding. So even though I'm starting this video now, it'll probably leave the car for at least an hour or so for the disc to cool down, because you'll see why. They're binding up quite badly, and as you would have heard in the test drive video, which was the last one I posted, you would be able to hear every time I put the brakes on. It's really noticeable. So I'm going to get this jacked up, allow the brakes to cool down, and then I'll bring you back in when we're ready to do some work. Right, so guys, you can see I've got it jacked up. I've got this wheel off. I've already done this side because basically I don't need to show you how to do both sides. It's got new clips on it, it's got all the copper grease on it and a new disc, and that's all been done. What I will do though is, this was the worst side. I will show you the condition of the discs and the pads in comparison to new now, and then we'll get started on working on the other side. So here we have the new disc that we've got left to fit to the other side. The disc we've just taken off from the side we've already done. And if I flip that over and I flip that one over, you'll see that that one's just a standard new disc, but it's scored, the old one's scored on both sides, and we have no brake material left whatsoever. And these are the two new pads that we're going to put in. We'll get you on the tripod and we'll get started with doing the fitment of that set onto the other side. So the first thing you guys want to do is, there's T30 Torx bit just there, right? And if you get a little stubby flathead screwdriver, it'll go in the groove there like so, and that should be enough to hold it for you just to crack this loose. I have already cracked it loose, but that's not a problem, so we don't actually need that. So that's that. Now we've got the disc loose, sort of, because we've still got the caliper installed. So I always like to loosen the disc off so I haven't got to worry about it afterwards, and just literally, I can only turn this because the key is in the ignition to stop the steering lock going on. Now we've got 12mm on the bottom and a 13mm on the top. No idea why it is that way round, but we've got new bolts to put in anyway. So I get my banana hook, literally just put it straight through the hole on there and hang it off up there out the way. That doesn't put strain on the flex then, and it also gets it out of our way so we can work on the rest of this. One brake pad off, there's not much left on that, and the other brake pad off, not much left on that, but thankfully there is some material left on it, so it didn't go back to bare metal on that. Always check to make sure these are moving freely. Top one's moving absolutely fine, bottom one, yeah, that's okay as well, that's absolutely fine. For these you can use a flathead screwdriver or just a chisel of some sort, doesn't matter, you just need to pop them off. You don't need to, if you've got replacements, you don't need to worry about salvaging them, which I have got replacements, so I don't need to worry about whether or not they break. They don't usually though. Right, so just behind here, let me just check so you can see that. You can just about see the bottom one, you can't see the top one. Top one's just hiding behind this point just here, but just behind here you've got two 17mm heads, and they undo the carrier. They are pretty tight, so what I would advise is using a bit of a longer bar on there to crack them loose, but I have already cracked everything loose for the purpose of the video. Whenever you work on a car, always think that you're the next person that's going to be working on it, because if you work on it in a way that you think that you're the next person that's going to be working on it, you'll be nice when it comes to putting it back. And what I mean by that is, if you've got a stripped out bolt, replace it with a new one. If you've got something that's a bit stubborn, clean it up before putting it back in to make sure it goes in nice and easily. Because if you are the next person that works on it and you put a rounded out bolt back in, good luck getting it out. So that's why I always say, think you're the next person to be in the vehicle. Right, anyway, so the carrier's off, this can come off. Other than having quite a heavy lip around the edge, nothing too serious. So we've got the replacement disc on, I've put the T30 Torx bit back in, and I've cleaned the carrier up a little bit as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, if I get it the right way around, put one of these in first just to seat it into place. Second one's going to have some copper grease on just to stop it from seizing up. And yes, I know I didn't put it on the first one, but the first one will be coming back out again in a moment to have some copper grease go on it. It's just to hold it in place while I put this one in. Now we've got the 4 replacement clips. They've got like a little angle piece here, right, on one side where it closes it off, and then they've got complete opening on the other side. And what you'll find is this little piece goes on the outer edge of the point, and that just spring clips into place. That's all 4 clips in place, and now we've got to put some pads in. So grease up the ears of the pads. They're the moving points. And I'll put a bit of splodge in the middle because that's going to have the piston up against it, so that's going to be a vibration point as well. I don't know if you need to do that bit or not, but I always do. Lovely. Same thing again, second pad, then that'll go into there like so, and that's that one done. So on these little C1s, if you have a nice working caliper, you should be able to use a pad just to kind of push back by hand once you've cracked the bleed nipple loose, and that's exactly what I've done. And then we just sit that onto there. Now the original bolts did have a little bit of thread locker on them, so I'm going to put a bit of a thread locker back on. Right, so the only thing I've got left to do, guys, is to put the cover back on the bleed nipple. Where I've put it, I don't know, but I'll find it and put it back on. But that is now done. Brake pads and discs on a Citroen C1 complete. So guys, the wheels are back on, the wheel nuts are nice and tight. I've done a little bit of a bleed on the front because it did look like it was braking slightly out of balance. So just done a little bit of bleeding on the front, and I've double checked that the brake fluid level is all correct where it should be, nice and on the maximum mark. And I'm currently down at the beach, so where you can see, but I'm just finishing up. I'm going to drive back home now. The test drive went good. No more grinding of the brakes, but like I say, I'm happy with the test drive. I'm going to call the person that owns it and so they can come and get their car. May see it in a future video, but anyway, for now I will say thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye for now. Just before I do go, there'll be another one of my videos up in this corner, and my subscribe icon will sit just down in this corner today. Take care guys, bye for now.